Could a huge change be inbound for our biggest theme parks here in the UK? Because Merlin Entertainments have filed to completely rebrand the entire company in the very near future. A huge new announcement has come from Universal regarding a partnership with Pokémon. Genuinely seems like they own every IP now. Gotta catch them all, I guess. And amongst first looks at new coasters and construction progressing on others, it seems like yet another major coaster in Europe has decided to get stuck and valley. It's been a strange week because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to the series that has never missed a week. Ever. Well, that's just not true. This past week in theme parks, where we go through everything that's happened at theme parks across the world in the last 7 days. And as per usual, so much has happened. So be sure you watch till the end. And be sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. We're almost at 150,000 subscribers. It's so close now. So any support towards that goal would be massively appreciated. Either way, this week is filled to the brim with news. And I think I've said that 3 times already. So what better way to get through them all quickly than to use the quickest of news segments ever. The quickfire news segment. Let's do this! And hang on a minute, we're just coming into the USA quickly. I'm in the USA now because it's all happening over in the USA. Specifically in Florida, because SeaWorld Orlando have now started progressing with the work on their brand new dark roller coaster ride, SeaQuest Legend of the Deep. We don't know what legend is in the deep end yet, but the warehouse for that ride has started going up nicely along with the track that is now on site. Sticking with a park in the same chain over at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, I thought it'd be nice to mention that Cheetah Hunt, their launch coaster, is still closed. In a matter of days, it'll be 3 months since that last opened. That park seems to get worse by the minute. Tidal Wave at Jenkinson's Boardwalk has been purchased by Adventure Island in Alabama, if that's any news to you. Six Flags Great Adventure have started teasing their brand new roller coaster for 2026 that's now 2027, and lo and behold, because we're only just hearing about it, will probably be delayed till 2028. They've been well away over in Texas though at Six Flags over Texas, building Tormentor Rampaging Run, and we now have that full Immelman loop after the drop complete, and some lovely drone footage showing us it derails. That is looking really nice. Universal Kids Resort, also in Texas. That is being built for this year as well, and people have been invited to sort of check out this huge 3D model of the actual park. I do love how Universal always likes to make these big models and put them somewhere for the public to see. Maybe they'll do one in the centre of Bedford, because that'd be cool. But more news on Universal later, because once again, they are topping the headlines. What a surprise. Meanwhile, Legoland in California, we saw a few images last week about the brand new Galacticoaster, where some content creators and influencers were able to go inside and have a look around. Well, Legoland have actually posted their own video in landscape, thankfully, showcasing part of the queue line and even parts of the ride. And I can't lie, for a Merlin roller coaster, looks quite good. I'm intrigued to see more of this ride, and I know there's one in California and Legoland, Florida. Can we get one in Windsor, please? We're getting Minecraft at Chessington, that's blocky. Make a Lego one at Legoland, not anywhere else. Disney have been very busy in Florida as well, because they have now closed their Frozen Ever After ride in EPCOT to make those changes to the animatronics, where they're going from a digital face to a real face. You get it, why I pointed at my face, DigitalDan. Anyway, that's now gone. Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom closes in the next week on the 2nd of February. Rest in peace. And one of the craziest headlines coming out of Disney's Hollywood Studios, Galaxy's Edge seating area debuts at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Honestly, I never thought I'd see the day. This is beautiful. They may be opening these seating areas, but they're opening an entire theme park in Abu Dhabi. Did you like that segue? That was good. And construction on that park seems to be starting in the next few months, as Bob Iger was seen in Abu Dhabi, and I don't know why, but they all look like animatronics in this. Great to meet you, Master Gromit. And Bob, the CEO, again shared photos of him walking on the future site. I hear that's trespassing unless it's a public footpath. Either way, I'm interested to see how that park develops, because I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near what a Disney park is supposed to be. But I guess we'll wait and see. But now we're going to head to a country that also has a Disney theme park, Japan, that having Tokyo Disneyland, but it also has Universal Studios Japan, the first park to have Super Nintendo World, and it seems like they're also going to be the first park to have a Pokemon themed land, because they announced in partnership with Pokemon that they would be developing a brand new immersive experience that a lot of people do believe could be in the place of the Amazing Spider-Man ride, because, well, that's a Disney IP. and I kind of need to get rid of that at some point. I know there's more to it than that, but it'll happen one day. Why not turn it into Pokemon? There's so many opportunities with Pokemon, and I really kind of hope we get some of that in the UK as well, because oh my god, that would be incredible. A land theme to it, maybe that singular ride, or a whole theme park I would take, because in Japan as well, in Kanto, they have just opened previews for the brand new Poke Park, and other than the fact they copied Discovery Studios guys sending a lawsuit, this place looks absolutely incredible. All the different buildings inspired from the games, and you've got loads of different areas where it's just sort of opened Greenland and concrete with these Pokemon fighting and everything. You've got Espeon and Umbreon on like a carousel, and Pikachu and Eevee, everything like that is so cool. And it gets even better when you realise they have an actual Pokemon Center, and you can go in and like put these Pokeballs on the machine. It's so cool. That opens to the public on the 5th of February, so not this week, but next week in theme parks. And I'd love to see more of them in the world. It looks so cool. But a theme park that we have many of in the world, and we're actually getting a new one of in Beijing at some point, over in Europe, is Ferrari Land. Yes, we have a Ferrari Land in the world and a Ferrari World in the world. But with a recent rebrand of Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi, they have now had to rebrand Portaventura's Ferrari Land in Spain, going from this logo to this logo. Yay! Not the only rebranding that's taking place in Europe. Portaventura also announced some brand new attractions coming in 2026. Alongside the Dragon Khan retrack, we actually have a new extension of Caribe Aquatic, their tropical themed water park called Coral Bay, and they're going to have a brand new water coaster and adventure pool. That water park has needed some updates, so I'm glad it's finally getting them, along with a brand new adventure trail coming to Polynesia in the actual theme park, Portaventura World. And once again, Polynesia has had no updates recently, and it's a lovely area, so I'm glad they're getting a little adventure trek trail. Disneyland Paris have begun putting up their brand new wave swinger theme to Up. Shout out to DLP Works for these images. As you can see, there is the foundation for it, and we're going to see that very quickly go up, because it kind of is just a fun fair ride at the end of the day. Big Loop at Heide Park in Germany has had some brand new trains put on the track. Look at the old ones. Look at the brand new ones. Barely look different, but I'm sure they're a lot more comfy. And in Poland at Energylandia, Zadra, the RMC hybrid coaster, it was running in the cold temperatures and thought, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And slowly, as it crawled up to one part of its layout, it rolled back and has now valleyed, with the train being stuck there ever since. Although, of course, they have started removing the train, and I believe that will most likely be up and running again very soon. But we have now diverted travel back to the UK. We're here in the homeland, because for once quite a lot is going on here, including the fact that Blackpool Pleasure Beach are going to be hosting a coaster enthusiast quiz on their opening night, and they're going to charge you £10 for a ticket if you want to take part. You do you, Blackpool. I will wait till Evictus opens. Pleasure Beach in Skegness have removed their pirate ship, but have stated, as we say goodbye, we do so with pride and excitement. This marks the end of one chapter, but also makes way for something brand new in 2026. Meaning there's a new ride coming. Ooh! Legoland are celebrating their 30th anniversary this year, with a new announcement that from the 14th of February, you'll be able to enjoy new shows, collect special pop badges, and a 90s themed park map. See some cool new builds and meet Birthday Cake Guy. I mean, the map design is amazing, but imagine turning up to Legoland and just meeting Birthday Cake Guy. I hope they make a VIP meet and greet you can buy. Talking of VIP experiences, you have a Bluey behind the scenes experience coming to Alton Towers, and it's not really a behind the scenes of Bluey itself, more so the roller coaster. Have a look around that site, and also to have a Q&A with some of the staff who worked on it. It will be funny to see a construction site tour of a kids coaster have no one there under the age of 40. Chessington seem to have renamed Dragon's Fury on Google, now fitting even more into the land it's in. It's called Dragon's Pie. Genuinely, when enthusiasts put these names in, how does Google actually think, oh, hang on a minute, Chessington might have called that ride Dragon's Pie? It's so silly. Fair play to whoever did it. Thorpe Park are, of course, building that huge beach replacement, and they have now submitted a planning application to discharge the biodiversity net gain condition. And just like you, I don't really know what that means, but it shows that this project is still going ahead, and hopefully we see that come to life over the next year or so. And speaking of seeing something develop over the next year or so at these parks, I think we're about to see a huge change across the board at all of the Merlin theme parks here in the UK, because Merlin Entertainments have filed a trademark for a brand new logo, seemingly going from this logo right here, very sort of magical, you've got the star right, it's a little bit serious at the bottom with the font. I don't know why they chose that font. Well, now they seem to be shifting that bottom section away and not being called Merlin Entertainments anymore, and just being called Merlin with this logo right here. I don't know what to think of this logo. Graphically, it reminds me a lot of what Thorpe Park recently did, where they sort of turned it into more of like a leisure centre type logo, whereas this one looks a little bit more like a bank card. But I don't know, there's just not really much character to it other than that star on the eye. And I just don't see Merlin Entertainments with this logo, because the entertainments word isn't even there anymore. And yes, we know that entertainments has been dropping out of these theme parks that they own around the world, especially here in the UK, but does that name drop now solidify that there won't be proper entertainments anywhere going forward? Or does it signify a change in direction? Because we have of course seen all of these different rumours and speculation and evidence that suggests that Merlin may be moving on to sell quite a few of their UK theme parks. Parks like Towers and Thorpe, with that change in the terms and conditions saying that if it were to be sold by Merlin or under different ownership going forward, and then obviously all of these different jobs that have been outsourced, which some believe to be evidence and others don't. Now this rebrand comes along. I do think there are big plans for Merlin Entertainments, and with all of their financial struggles that they've spoken about and how they want to try and take a new direction, especially with the amount of restructuring they've been doing within the jobs of the parks, I do feel like when they announce this rebrand, it's the start of a new Merlin. And I don't know if that's a good thing, because like said, we can clearly see they're not really bothered about entertainments anymore, both physically in the parks and also from this logo. But also with the way investment has been going over recent years, it just doesn't seem like they care about their UK parks. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the next step for them to be like, right, we're getting rid of a few of our parks, we're going to rebrand so you don't complain too much. And somehow you will think that we're a different company. I don't know, I just think Merlin have had such a rocky few years, and now they've put this trademark in for a new logo and I guess a new name if they're just going by Merlin. There's definitely an idea somewhere along the line to start with a completely fresh, clean slate, and whether or not they get rid of some of the parks in the process and do that, I have no idea. And as enthusiasts, we always look way too deep into things. It could be all of that, or it could even just be someone at Merlin thinking, oh, our logo's pretty old, isn't it? Yeah, let's change it and make it a bit shorter. It could literally be that. But that's what I love about covering the news each week, is we can delve into these things in different amounts and talk about the potential changes we might see coming from it. And I do think, personally, this will be the start of something big happening with our UK theme parks. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this rebrand and whether it means all of that or means nothing. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode and everything in between, because I do so much more than just this series. Thanks for watching.